to another episode of Times Square Kung Fu. I am your host, Frankie Balboa, aka the Shogun Supreme.
And I'm Peter Goligoski, Associate Editor at Flixus.com. And we're here today to talk about Angel Enforcers, the wonderful German release from which label?
Shamrock Media. That's right, man. And Peter, it's gonna be an entertaining one, man.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Now, before I get too deep into this release, this is a German release. It has English subtitles and an English audio dub track, which I truly love. Peter loves it too, but
No.
but we're gonna talk about that later. And as the case with German releases is, it states in the back that is region B, but it's actually region 3. This release. You know, so yeah, it's whatever. I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know,
as long as it works.
Right. So this film was directed by Godfrey Ho. I mean, have you seen some of Godfrey Ho's work, Peter?
I just took a look on IMDb and there's like 100 and something films, and no.
Yo, let me tell you guys
I don't even
something.
know what the hell.
Godfrey Ho is a very infamous Hong Kong director. Like, he's done a bunch of B-tier, awesome trash. He's mostly known for doing ninja films. But what makes Godfrey Ho fascinating is that, and notorious, that all the films he was doing, he took footage from other films he worked on and put it in that film, or he took footage from other films like Cannibal Holocaust and put it in his films. He's known for stealing music, especially the Halloween theme, which plays in this film as well.
Yeah, there's a wonderful shootout on the stairs.
Yeah, and he also used that in a previous film, which is actually a solid Girls with Guns film called Lethal Panther, which I need to show you. And so deep dive into his filmography on IMDb, Letterboxd, and you guys gonna have a blast because a lot of his films, actually, believe it or not, are in Tubi and also on YouTube. But yeah, once you go down his ninja filmography, like Ninja Terminator or Termination, you know, Ninja Enforcers, it's insane. Like it's like a giant mixtape of ninja films in one film. Like, it's bonkers. But one thing I gotta give credit to Godfrey Ho, he knows how to do action. But plot, we're gonna talk about that in a second, man, because we're gonna talk about the story in this film that Peter found fascinating. I've seen this film a bunch of times, and every time I see it, I'm like, word, you did this?
You discover new things. You're like, oh wait, maybe that's how it pieces together.
Yeah, man, but we're gonna get into it. So this film stars Sharon Pan. She worked with Godfrey Ho before in Princess Madam, which is actually pretty solid. It has Moon Lee in it. It has everybody's favorite, your favorite, Dick Wade.
Yeah.
It has Philip Ko and Ha Ching Chun and a bunch of people we had no idea.
Yeah, in our search to figure
film.
out who was who, we went on Wikipedia and I was like, Joyce Codenzi wasn't in this film, and then I went on IMDb and I was like, Moon Lee was in it? And it's just like, apparently no one knows who was in this movie.
Yeah, you have to go definitely to like the Hong Kong film database, and also Letterboxd has a pretty good accurate cast.
Yeah, Letterboxd
right?
is pretty correct.
Yeah, Letterboxd is pretty correct, but a lot of the actresses in this film, there's the only film they done, and that's it. And they use every single white boy villain from Hong Kong cinema in there. You got Mark Huntington, and Mike Abbott in this joint, and some others in there. But Peter, the plot.
My guess is as good as yours. I mean, it starts off as a diamond heist, right? Something like that. And then in the next scene, it's shifting over to Dick Wei and his brother, or sworn brother, Philip Ko. And then Philip Ko dies, and now it's like a revenge plot. I mean, it's kind of...
Here's the thing. Even you mentioned about, you know, Philip Ko dying. That's not really a spoiler because he's only in this movie for 2 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, there's some flashbacks, but like...
Yeah, it almost feel like Road Warriors, but yeah, like Peter said, like there's a diamond heist going on, and once they're done with that, the chief's officer calls him in, and they have him in a mission to somehow take down this Hatching Cho's character, who she plays Big Sister, who has a criminal empire. But we don't see the criminal empire work besides a scene that she wants to do work with counterfeit money.
Yeah, we couldn't figure that out. We're like, does she do human trafficking or money laundering or drug trading? Like, she just has a nightclub.
Yeah, like the most fleshed out characters in this film, what should have been focused on, was Dick Way and Philip Cole's character, because at least you get great chemistry and a nice background story to them and what they do.
Yeah, and while they're villains, you know, it would at least be something, as you said. You know, the main character, like, all credit to Sharon Pan Pan for whooping some ass, but like doesn't have much of a background or a story or a motivation.
Yeah. And what was the girl, was her name Winnie?
Winnie was the sister of another cop, Marianne. So like there's some angle there. She's like, I want to protect my sister, and then the dad gets involved, but that's about it.
They don't
like,
flesh that out. I mean, they use that relationship for something down later on in the film. But as you guys heard me talk about Godfrey Ho's, you know, the films that he did in the past, and how he splices different footage from other films into his films. This film feels like that, but he didn't do that. It just, whatever, it feels so different at times, because I remember when you was watching it, I don't know if you was not confused, but you were like, wait, is Dick Way with Big Sister, or he's rogue? What's happening here?
Yeah, we didn't, or I specifically couldn't figure that out. And as I was saying to you beforehand, this is apparently all original footage of Godfrey Ho, but it feels like maybe he shot something, was like, I'm not going to use that, and later on, I guess I'll use it anyway, who cares? You know, it's pieced together weirdly.
And before I forget, this release had like 4 covers, right?
I think 5 variants.
5 variants, and this is the rare one right here. I mean, they looked out for me out there. And the title of this film is Angel Forces, and it has a beautiful little title underneath it. The Good, the Bad, and the Bitch. Why does it have the bitch?
Well, Dick Way, for every time he's talking about Sharon there, he's like, that bitch, that fucking bitch, I'm gonna get them. Like, jeez,
like,
man.
Even Big Sister, Hatching Cho, she's like this, I'm gonna get them bitches. Like, I'm like, damn, and they blow it up, man. Like, it is wow. But where the film lacks in the plot, all doesn't make up for the action. We're gonna talk about the action in 1 second. Now, the action in this film. Godfrey Ho, I gotta give him some style points. He always, I swear him as a director, he just throws random scenarios just to get it over with, to explain why this action scene is gonna happen. And this film felt very much like that.
Yeah, it was practically a stunt reel.
Yeah, this practically is a stunt reel, and the action in this film is very I don't say like you get too many different locations, because you tell there's a low budget. Everything feels like a factory setting or inside a mall.
Yeah, except save for one scene on the back of a truck, but most of it is in enclosed spaces.
Enclosed spaces, but he knows how to use it, because man, the hand-to-hand combat in this film, it is very frantic, good camera cuts, and boy, these women get hit hard.
Yeah, I mean, there's especially one scene where Dick Way's beating up one of the ladies, and it's like, this is almost like a Sammo Hung thing.
Yeah, we were like, damn, Sammo Hung must be jealous. Like, damn it, why you didn't call me for this film? But even some of the, like, even in the beginning with Mark Huntington, when he's fighting that guy in the truck yard, when they're trying to do that deal, like, hey, it went south. Like, man, Mark went in on that homeboy, man. I was like, bro, I was like, damn, did he kick him for real?
Yeah.
Most likely he did. But the way it edited, because Godfrey has a style, like, when somebody gets hit and you see them bend, it cuts, and you see them flying like freaking 50 miles an hour. Like, I'm like, whoa.
There's a ton of wire work in that sense.
It's a ton of wire work to sell the impact to be more brutal than what it is, and he knows how to use the environment, because it constantly crashing into barrels, going through like wood planks, hitting the wall, then they slide. So the action in this film keeps you very interesting and very engaged with the film, because as the film progresses further, you're gonna get hit with action. Now, one thing that I love he did in this film with the action, even your impression in the beginning, was the guns.
Yeah, the guns get a good workout in this. For the subgenre called girls with guns, usually they focus more on hand to hand. This one, like, there's a shotgun that we sort of got as a grenade launcher.
Yeah, even the sound, it was like, yo, they must have put a C4 in the freaking on that river and just let it go, because that thing was ridiculous.
Yeah, it
was,
shoots, misses, and it's like, like that shotgun wouldn't do that, but it's great.
But yeah, you guys are gonna get treated with some great entertaining action, and typical what girls with guns genre is, and Godfrey Ho exaggerates it here. You think people are gonna shoot you, run and shoot normally? No. Sharon has to do a spin twirl, split by the wall, and shoot, do a backflip, land, shoot. Like, it is stylized as hell.
That's definitely way over the top.
It's like ridiculously way over the top, but damn, it looks freaking good. And you're gonna get blessed with some Halloween music.
Stolen music from other films.
Oh man, it's definitely ridiculous. But we're gonna talk about the picture quality, and quite honestly, I was very surprised with this release. Very impressed.
So the picture quality on this release, in Frankie's love there, is it's open matted, which is so you're getting the full picture, you know. It's huge, fills the entire screen, and for the most part, this looks very good. There are certain elements that are inherent to Hong Kong films that you see, like fluctuating colors, but in terms of image stability, it's good. Overall clarity is very good. It's clean. There's not many cracks or pops, but there's some you see because, again, these films are old. So, yeah, it's a really impressive release.
Right, because we only saw one scene towards the end when it was dark, when it was macro blocking, but the image was soft, so you could tell it was the print.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something was off, but as terms of the fluctuating colors, like you see it in the beginning, and then sometimes in the middle, and your favorite scene with your favorite drink.
The Cupid cocktail.
Oh, wait till you guys see the Cupid cocktail.
Too hot for YouTube.
Oh man, it's too hot for YouTube, man. But just take my word for it, man. But one thing that stood out to me the most when I got this release is the contrast. It's well used and has a good pop. The colors are vivid. It looks very impressive.
Yeah, overall, and even the audio too. Like, it's maybe not as impressive as the video, but it's very clean. Everything's well situated. There's no hissing or anything like that. Right.
Because again, this is a German release. This was only there's 66 copy per media book. If it does get picked up from the West, I hope they include my English audio.
Oh God!
I sent Peter a clip. It has that cheesy, bassy, awesome Hong Kong 80s dub that a lot of us grew up watching in New York City, Channel 5. But man, it is enjoyable. Peter's like, get this out of my freaking ears.
I get the appeal of it, but oh God. But those clips you sent me, I was just like, Jesus, it's hilarious because it sort of knows that the film's kind of a mess, so they just go with it.
Yeah, man. But with that, it has English subtitles.
Yeah, and there's some grammatical errors, but it doesn't really ruin much because it's not like the plot matters.
And it's only like, even the grammatical errors are like hyphens where it shouldn't be, but it's not throughout the whole film.
No. Large portions of the movie will go by and you won't even notice anything.
Right, but one thing that we spoke about this, that the font style is totally different from a lot of releases from what we're familiar with boutique labels or major studios. They have this bold, I don't think it's italic, but it has a bold look to it, and I actually like it. It's different.
Yeah, not only is the font itself bold, but it's outlined in black, so the letters definitely pop out. You know, you're not going to have any instances where some overblown color or whatever obscures the word.
Right. But overall, man, we're about to give our final thoughts about this release, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Now that you guys, heard all of that, and of course, while we were talking about the picture quality, I was showing you guys the screen caps of this film. Now, like I told Peter, like I'm gonna show him more Girls with Guns film, and of course, this is like a limited release. And it has actually, I forgot to mention, it has with media books, it has booklets in it. It has great pictures, a great writing by Christoph. He follows me on Twitter, and of course I use Google Lens to translate that. But we want, ease of use, easy, accessibility. And I hope like somebody like 88, or actually Vinegar Syndrome. This was like a Vinegar Syndrome release to me.
This is a perfect Vinegar Syndrome movie.
But like me, I keep it real. Peter knows this as well. As much I love this film, there's not a film I would sit down and watch by myself. I would just pick the scenes. But when you watch this with friends, it is a blast, because me and Peter had a blast. So Peter, what do you thought of this film overall?
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment. Like, to me, I was like, it's kind of average, I guess. But when you're watching it with friends, you're riffing on it, you're having a good time. It's an enjoyable watch. Like, you can't watch that Cupid cocktail scene and not smile, or at least roll your eyes. So
right, because one thing like I love about Godfrey, he's having fun. He's having fun with his movies that he worked on, and you see a lot of oddball moments, especially when Big Sister goes jogging. And that's all I gotta say. There's a lot of eyebrows. This film is gonna make you do the freaking Rock's eyebrow. Yeah, it's gonna make you do that. But overall, man, this HD transfer looks fantastic. Hopefully somebody picks it up, and I recommend this, man, because if you don't buy this, if somebody picks it up, I don't know what's wrong with you, because if I find out y'all bought freaking Lucky Stars, we have problems.
Yeah, this is better than most of those.
It's better than most of those, man. But guys, as always, like, share, and subscribe, and until the next one, peace.